Hey everyone, welcome to the last week in February. This week is going to be another fun one. It is going to be about the story of Jesus healing Bartimaeus, or in other words, like Jesus cares for his friends, right? And so he has his back, right? And so that's what we're talking about this week. Today's key question, when has someone made time for you? And today's bottom line, make time to help others. And so whatever that looks like in their lives. This first activity, you'll have kids pair up and instruct them to stand back to back. When they stand back to back, give them each one of the balls. And what they're going to do is they are going to throw the ball to their partner, but still standing back to back. And so have it like this. If someone's behind me facing the other way, I'll toss it behind me and hopefully they'll be able to catch it from that point on, okay? Have some fun with that. Have them keep going further out and stuff like that too. Just make it fun with them. This next one, you'll also have another pairs and you'll have a back-to-back ball challenge. And so this one's a little different in that you'll have a big beach ball and then you'll put the beach ball in between their backs. And what they're going to do is move from one side of the room to the other while keeping the ball behind their backs. And so it's teamwork, working together, seeing if they can get it from one side to the other without dropping it. If they do drop it, well, then they have to restart, okay? And then we'll go to large group and talk about what it may look like to have someone's back, right? And so just like Jesus had Bartimaeus' back. This next activity after you come back is going to be a more or less activity. So you have two different lines on the room or two different ways that you can signify more or less. Then you're going to ask them different questions that go along with more or less. And so for instance, do you spend more time or less time than an hour a day on an electronic device? And so if they spend more than 1 hour on the electronic device of any kind, then they can go to the more side. If they spend less, then they can go to the less side. And so there's a lot of different questions there. Have them be as honest as they can about those things, and then describe taking time to help someone else. And so kind of after you do all of those questions and whatnot, talk about how much time does it really take to help other people? And isn't it more beneficial if we do help other people? And so kind of go through that. Okay, this next one, you'll have some action cards, and things like these action cards are basically going to be a slow motion charades, okay? So whoever kid that you pick first, they are going to be playing charades to the rest of the team. And for instance, this one's jumping rope, right? So I would show Johnny and only Johnny that this card is jumping rope, and he's going to have to act out jumping rope. So he starts doing the jumping rope and the other kids have to try to guess what it is without saying anything. He can't say anything for any of these, okay? So have them play some fun slow motion charades. Then there are a lot of other discussion questions on that piece of paper. And so if you want to do it like in between every charade, you ask a question, or just at the end, depending on how your kids are and what works out for them. But make sure you go through those questions because they are good. For this next one, you will have ball pit balls, and they will have like little stickers of the verse on them. And so, boom, kind of like that, right? You can have two different teams to do this as well. And what you're going to do is have the balls on one side of the room. You're going to have a cup, and then the team, whoever's first on the team will go and run, scoop up one of the balls from the other side of the room, bring it back to their team, and then they have to put these in order once they have them all back with their team, okay? And so they work together to figure out how to get the verse in order with their team as fast as possible before the other team gets the verse first. Then, of course, you have the prayer activity. And so with this one, just think about how they can spend a little more time serving other people or showing compassion to someone else, right? Like even if it's just a hi on the side of the road, or how are you doing to a classmate that they don't really talk to, break it down to very simple things like that they can practically do throughout their day. And so give them the challenge of actually doing it. Say, what is one thing that you can do this week to encourage someone else? And then maybe even write those down and try to follow up with them next week on if they did it or not. That's it for this week, guys. Thank you guys so much for all that you do. This week's word is going to be back. And so just say the word back to me, and then you get entered into the drawing as well. Thank you. See you soon.